What are you doing? What are you taking? Are you taking anything? Have you started anything? Or are you on any medication, supplementation, your diet? I need a little bit more information just so I can see what's going on. I'm on Norvasc. Okay, what else you're taking? How's your lifestyle? How many medications you're taking? Are you taking anything for blood pressure other than that current one you said? I'm Tijli Daher. Who else is gonna do the dishes? Especially after I cook fish, I actually went and got some sable fish, and I usually just barely cook it because I like to eat it raw. And of course, you know, when you cook with fish, you have to clean up really well, or else it smells a little bit good. So it's all done and dried. Now I can relax and have my coffee soon. That's it. And I walk 2 times a week. I'm 54 and weigh 150. Okay. Maybe you should book a time with me, and we can talk about it, how we can actually control your blood pressure, because blood pressure has to do with a few deficiencies that actually occur in the body. So you live off the grid? I do live off the grid, yes. Closest town is about 15 minutes or so away. Got everything here so far, just trying to finish up some proper insulation for the winter time, but I'll have to head to the city this week to go see the family. I'll probably come back after. Marhaba ya Asal. Hey Ziad, how are you? I hope you guys are doing well. There we go. Most of the stuff is put away. We end up eating a little bit late because I've been busy today. Usually I like Monday because usually I try to catch up to a lot of my customers and a lot of the plans, and today I'm still falling behind. Thank you, Maurice. I will DM you. Yes, do that, please, Silva. I will definitely chat and go a little bit in detail. I had 2 more stents for a total of 5. What's going on? When was that? Was that done recently or? 2 stents, 5 stents in total. Welcome to the club. On the 6th of what? Of August? Just recently? What you been doing? What have you changed? What have you been followed? I know sometimes our lifestyle is not the best, but how are you feeling overall? I know sometimes things takes years of we abuse our bodies is starting to catch up to us. And I know the slight lifestyle changes and stuff doesn't happen right away. It takes time to actually get there. I had no symptoms to start with. Oh wow, okay. How much blockage was? I like your cross. Thank you, Millie. How are you? How's your day been? How's your evening actually? Unless it's daytime, where you at? Maurice, how do I get rid of nausea? I haven't been able to sleep much. 95% blocked. Okay. Well, I have one customer right. One of my patients. He's at 95% blockage right now. He hasn't had any symptoms, but he just started the Cavadex last week, so I'm hoping we can reduce it in time, so he doesn't experience any issues. He's an older person. He's roughly in his 80s. Nausea, usually it's a lack of magnesium and a lack of sodium in the body. It's been great, my friend. What's your favorite Bible verse? Oh wow, you got me there. I haven't actually had a Bible reading for years. My calcium number was 33 or 4, quite high, quite high. Quite high of a number. What have you been doing right now since the incident again? My LP is 68. Okay, so you are above 30, so it could be like a genetic issue as what I have. Usually it runs quite high, about 33% of the Middle Eastern. Well, I don't know if you're Middle Eastern or not, but it does run at least 33% of the Middle Eastern have an issue with their LP small a. Mine was in the upper 600 when I actually had my incident 10 years ago. Okay. Yeah, so you do fall in that category as well too. Anytime it's over 30, most of the time it's looked at as being genetic. Duke is doing good. He was actually just laying on the bed just now. And well, while I was finishing everything. Yeah, I am serious. Okay. Hope you have a great night. Gotcha, man. Hopefully you have a great night. So far so good. We just came on the chat, so we'll see how it goes. It's just been a little bit cooled down outside, so I thought I'd come in and do a chat right now, because it hasn't been that nice today. We actually had heavy rain and didn't do much at all other than fill up some sandbags and stuff, so I can get them ready for the water tank tomorrow. Because I'll be heading to the city for a couple of days to visit the family, so I won't be doing much here. I'll have to travel about 8 hours. There you go. Everything is nice and clean. That's how it should be. What are your thoughts about bone broth or collagen? I think everybody should be having bone broth at least daily. Daily, no matter what. That's how you get your calcium, phosphate. That's how you can get your magnesium, trace minerals, collagen, all that good stuff, good quality stuff. You can actually live off bone broth for a long time as well too. I did it for almost like 3 months straight. It's one of the best things you can ever put in your body. 162 years old, 265 pounds, 6'1", from Manitoba, proud. Hey, how are you, Robert? So what's the plan, Obey? What we're gonna do? We should have a chat, maybe see what else is going on, so we can maybe have some plan set up in place for you, and you can actually lower that LP small a. Even thought it is genetic, it could be lowered. I lowered mine from 400, upper 400, down to almost about right now 40. It takes roughly about 3 to 4 years to lower it, but it is possible. It is possible. Let's do that tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. Book something for tomorrow. We can actually have a chat. My hair is all over the place. Nice. Yeah, if you can book for something for tomorrow, would be great, and we can have a chat, because I won't be leaving here till like Thursday or Friday. I'll be driving, so I'm good. I am on 500 milligrams niacin. Are you taking the niacin all at once, or just in smaller doses? Because if you have a high LP small a, it's probably better to take your niacin about 200 250 milligram per dose, because the LP little a is only pretty much controlled with a small dose of niacin, but taken multiple times throughout the day. That would be like the best thing to do it. Do you recommend taking an 81 milligrams aspirin daily? Not really, no. There's other things you can take. You got garlic, you got ginger, you got digestive enzymes, you got white willow bark, you have nattokinase. There's a lot of safer options than taking aspirin. You can even take vitamin C. But the only reason people take vitamin C, they take aspirin just because it is covered by insurance, or it's much cheaper than some vitamins. How do you prepare it? Get like lamb bones or beef bones and stuff, soak them in water, let them simmer or boil for at least 4 to 6 hours so you can get rid of get all the nutrients out of the bones. Make sure you put some apple cider vinegar so it actually extract all the minerals out of the bones. That's all you need to do. Some people like to add onions and other things to it. I don't. I just keep it nice and simple. All at once and getting flushes. Flushes are good. Flushes are good. Flush is what actually lowers and balances your cholesterol, but lowers oxidized cholesterol. So it prevents your body from actually oxidizing the cholesterol. And you need that flush effect of that niacin. If you don't get that flush effect of that niacin, that means you're taking the wrong niacin, because a lot of individuals, they end up getting the wrong niacin. So the flush is good. And once your body get used to it, the flush won't occur as much anymore. And that's when I kind of recommend to cycle the product a bit. Because if you don't cycle the product, your body kind of get used to it, then you have to actually increase the amount. So you can take 500 milligrams, anywhere between 200 to 500 milligrams per dose would be ideal, no more than that. I wouldn't take any more than that, but every 4 hours you can actually take another dose. So this way you can keep it at a high rate in your body. How much does a clinical nutritionist make? I want to do that career. You don't make money. As a clinical nutritionist, you don't make money. I'm serious about that. And if you're gonna work in a clinic or you're gonna work in any type of atmosphere, you're not gonna make money. The only way you're gonna make money is if you actually go on your own. Go on your own and you do consultations, go on your own and you do meal plans and help customers that way. And be thankful for what you make, but not to be like as a career and actually live and enjoy life. You just, as long as you have that mentality where you wake up and you feel thankful every single day, that's all it is. That that for a fact you are helping people. Is that why you live in an RV? I live, it's an RV and a tiny house. I put all my money into the land. We spend most of our time out on land outside than being indoors. I don't need a big house. I don't want a big house. I think it's a waste of freaking money. Imagine, you work so hard all your life and all your money goes towards mortgages and payments, yet you never really get a chance to actually enjoy life. So why not live in a simple area, small place? And that's actually what I call the new richest, because you get to do whatever you want. You make enough money to pay some of your bills and expenses, and the rest, you're relaxed. And trust me, you don't work 1 week for yourself and 1 week for the government. Because once you start making large amount of money, and guess what? It's all being paid. And what are you left with? Nothing. All that earned money is just gone. I have 3 extra bottle of Nanobax DX. If you are interested, can email you from your website. Mail you from your website for your address and send them to you if you'd like. Have a great week. Yes, would love to definitely give it a shot. If you're not gonna be continue using them here, let me know. And thanks so much for the support as always. I really appreciate that. Yes, most of us are making the government richer. 100%. Are you an actor? No, I'm not an actor. No. I am on blood thinners and meds for CVT, baby aspirin 4 milligrams, Crestor Listen Pro, and Brilinta 90 milligrams. You'll probably be on Brilinta for at least 1 year after the heart attack. Baby aspirin, you can actually eventually in time stop it, Crestor, all that stuff, once you actually adjust your lifestyle and adjust your supplementation intake. So sometimes you have to put it this way. You take pharmaceutical stuff and you end up getting side effects, or you take supplementation and keep it as natural as possible without any side effect. So it's something you have to actually put in your mind and say, okay, can I afford the supplementation, or is my insurance covering my medication? And that's where the problem that we see a lot of people they run into. They say, well, Maurice, I can't really afford this supplementation because I have my insurance paying for my drugs, so I'd rather stay with the drugs. But I can guide you through the lifestyle and the food changes, because it is exactly what you consume. The food you consume, they're either causing inflammation or preventing one. And the whole idea is to kind of be mindful of the food you put in and how well your gut is actually performing as actually breaking down the food, whether it's actually feeding it disease or preventing one. So that's the way we almost have to look at it. I just got out of hospital for infected salivary gland from Sjogren's. I feel horrible. Oh, that's insane. How long were you there for, Renee? That's why I haven't seen you here for a couple of days. You've been there for a while, or just recently? Just this happened. Hey, Meme, how are you? Give me a second, guys. There you go. We finished cleaning up. 3 days. Oh, wow. That's insane. You're feeling better right now, or everything's back to normal? I'm a mess. I feel like something isn't right. My heart rate kept dropping. How's your breathing overall? Is it normal, or is it kind of conflicting that your heart rate as well is dropping quite a bit? It's actually dropping that low. Bronchitis. Are you taking any NEC? NEC would definitely help with that situation, just so it kind of clears everything up for you. Would be great to actually look into that as well. The N-acetyl-L-cysteine, if there is any mucus build up. I don't know if you're experiencing any mucus or anything like that. Build up will definitely help quite a bit. And make sure you take a little bit of a high dose. Of the NEC. Do you have a chance to visit the website? SMS Biotech Stem Cell Therapy, COPD. I haven't yet. Was it sent to me, or? I'll have to check it. Here, let's see. Since I am by a computer right now, let me bring it up. Maybe I can check it right now while I'm with you. Give me a minute. The thing is, I have so many people sending me websites and other things, and I haven't had a chance to actually look at much. It's just been, once I do a chat and with my current patients and stuff, sometimes seriously, I'm like quite busy that there's a lot of things I tend to not able to look at and end up falling behind quite a bit. Which is kind of, I don't like it, but I can't really help it much. Good. Gee, Marie, let's have some coffee then. We're gonna make some right now. I have to make some. Did you get a chance to visit the website SMS? Let's see, SMS. Oops. SMS Bio. What is it? Biotech. Stem cell therapy. And I have like so many messages. I'm running behind with other patients that they think that I'm ignoring them, and I'm not ignoring anybody. It's just I'm overly, I get way too many things going on sometimes. We are done with preclinical and starting phase 1, first in a human. Oh, nice. When is the starting? Pipeline. My dad just told me he has aneurysm in his aorta. It's 3.3 centimeters. Hey, Erica, how are ya? That's not good. How much does potassium sparing diuretics raise potassium? I'm taking 25 milligrams. My dad just had an aneurysm in his aorta. Is he doing anything for it? Is he taking anything? What is going on? I just gotta keep jumping from one question to another. I had twist my ankle, nothing serious, but very swollen. Any recommendations for inflammation other than neurokinase and digestive enzymes? You can't really do much and ice it. And you can actually spray some magnesium as well. You can get some magnesium spray would actually help. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna answer one question at a time. So with the aneurysm, is he doing anything for that or what's going on? Just so I can get an idea. Nothing, okay. Not taking any supplements, medications, nothing then? Give me a second, guys. SVC, it is fixable, Lorraine. I did an ebook on how to actually control heart rhythm. He is 59, heart surgery this year, blood pressure medications. Anything, the brain is working correctly, any issue with the blood pressure, or is he taking any blood pressure? Oh, he is taking blood pressure medication. Yes, guys, tap the screen so we can get more people to join and we can get more questions going, and I can do my best to actually answer each one. The aneurysm is probably going to end up having a lot of hardening in the aorta, which is, we should actually possibly put him on Cavadex or anything like that to actually prevent this issue from happening, Erica. I think that would be like the next step. Can I take vitamin K, D3 on a Brilinta and statin with the stents and other blockages? Yes, 100% you could, and it does not conflict. What did you want to know, Lorraine, about SVC? Ask me, please. I can do my best to kind of give you some answers here. I had a question earlier as well, too. How much does potassium sparing, where is that message? Sparing diuretics raise potassium. So you're taking 25 milligrams of Pilronol. Well, even if it does raise, it never really raises your RBC potassium. That's the thing. Like, and when doctors checks your potassium levels, they always check the serum, which is irrelevant, but they never check the RBC of potassium. So it is ideal to actually check the RBC potassium to really know exactly how much is it actually increasing. I highly recommend Maurice. Thank you, Marie. I'm gonna go ahead and post this up. Really appreciate it. Hi, good night. Love how you are doing from Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Set a one-on-one with Maurice's best investment ever. Thank you, Marie, for putting that out there. Guys, let's tap the screen and we can get more people to join us. Erica, does he have issues with his kidneys at all, or you're not sure? If you are genetically predisposed to heart disease, is there anything you can do? Yeah, of course there is. You can go on nitric oxide for the rest of your life, like I am, to actually prevent further damage. So some of us are unfortunate just because we have that gene, right? What dose of nitric oxide should I take? There's only one dose of nitric oxide. You actually take nitrate of 500 milligrams. If you don't take minimum 500 milligrams, it's not going to convert correctly to nitric oxide. So 500 milligrams is the smallest dose that you need to take. And it should be actually coming from, let's say, potassium nitrate, beetroot extract, arugula, certain items like that. Because based on age, if you are over the age of, let's say, 40 or 50, if you're going to think of taking, let's say, L-arginine or citrulline, that stuff won't convert correctly in our body, especially if you're already living in heart disease condition or any type of cardiovascular event. If you guys watch my latest video on nitric oxide, I kind of went in depth on how to actually fix it. Can nitric oxide affect lupus? In what way? Like in a positive way or a negative way? I never really looked into that, to be honest with you, in specific, but I can check very quickly on my cheat sheet if I have anything on that. Let me find out. I don't think it has anything to do with it, but I'll double check. Oh, okay. So people that actually usually have lupus end up having a lot of induced nitric oxide, that's what causes a lot of the oxidative damage. I'll be 40 soon. The blood pressure is constantly 130, 170 over 80. That's good. It's yes and no. It's just, whether it's you are in a hypertension zone or not, it doesn't look like it, but I would do like further testing just to make sure there's no calcifications or issues starting to accumulate, just to be on the safe side. What type of vitamin C or brand do you recommend? I currently take liposomal by Live On Labs. This is a company that I use my vitamin C from. It is a liposomal version. And I take only 1,000 milligrams. Now, if I was going to take powder form, I would take close to about 12,000 milligrams. That's my daily limit. Every person has a tolerance level for vitamin C. Some are like 9,000, some are like 12, some are even 18 or 16. So it varies per person. So for me, it's been 12, or I take the liposomal, at least one, sometimes two max. I use chi machine. Have you ever used a chi machine to swing the legs for circulation of lymph fluid? It seems to help the edema I get occasionally. Edema is usually because you're not hydrating properly, so you're not drinking enough trace minerals to enter at the cellular level. I have not really used the chi machine. I gotta look into it to see what it looks like. Since I have my computer here, I can check it. Chi machine. So what's your opinion of nitric oxide on lupus activation? Well, you have to, I would actually, the first thing I would do is check your ADMA, CDMA, ADMA, SDMA blood test first. Hi, Maurice. Hey, Britties, how are you? What can you do for backaches? Drink some coffee. My God, don't you ever sleep? Hey, Prince, how are you? Hey, Prince, by the way, I'll be heading to town this week, actually, because my butcher is actually going down to Calgary this week. So I'll have to go on either Thursday or Friday to Calgary to actually pick up the meats. I got to pick up about 200 pounds of meat. And I'll stay there for a week. So I know you said you're coming down in like 3 weeks. I have to go down this week, actually. So everything I found out this morning. What is the best way to lower high cortisol? Take L-theanine as soon as you wake up. I'm in Calgary, want to look at my blood work. I am in Calgary, want to look at my blood work. Yeah, send it to me. I can look at it for you, no problem. Coffee for backs? Yes, coffee works excellent. I'm on blood pressure meds, and my doctor said not to take nitrates on herbs, beta blockers, potassium. Well, see, if you take nitrates, you're going to eventually start to discontinue beta blockers and all that diuretic stuff. And what's going to happen is your doctor is going to start losing money, because you're actually starting to fix the issue. You have address I can send stuff to? I do have an address, yes. I don't know how can I here, let me see if I can find you. I can DM you right now. Prince is the username. Let's see if you come up. I don't see you on here unless you have me. You can send me a direct message. I can reply. How much L-theanine? Anywhere between 200 to 600 milligrams per dose on an empty stomach, British. Let me see here if I can find you. Stomach pain when I drink coffee is lost a lot of the acid, possibly. How do you know if cortisol is high or low? Oh, it varies. You have weight gain, you have hair loss, you have muscle weakness, you have high blood pressure, you're having a hard time sleeping, you have irregular beat, decreased libido, low testosterone. So it could be many things with cortisol. Sometimes you even have to get a blood test to find out. You have joint pain, sometimes stiffness when you wake up in the morning. Do you read DNA reports? I do, yes, and I do produce an 11-page report from it. I'll send you a direct. Sounds good. I'll hit refresh. Let me know when you send. Any other things to help with high cortisol? You have to rotate your carb intake. Carb intake plays a huge role in cortisol. Too much will cause it, too little will cause it. So you have to actually find a balance. Sometimes it's your adrenals. If you end up getting adrenal fatigue from too much coffee, too much caffeine, too much chocolate, you can actually, let's see, what else could actually affect it? These would be like the most kind of symptoms that I can think of top of my head. I know some people like to take ashwagandha. I don't like ashwagandha too much because it does cause adrenal fatigue sometimes. Grounding is good. Fish oil. I have a lot of users that use rhodiola as a supplement as well. It works good. Natural light. Make sure your eyes are actually the first thing they see when you wake up is the proper light, and the same thing at night. Kind of stay away from a lot of the blue lights. What else would be good? Just trying to think. Hawthorn. Hawthorn works not bad as well. Yeah, hawthorn works really good. Rhodiola. It's a herb that actually helps the body to relax. What about Chilajit? I'm currently using one right now that I've been testing for a week from Pure Black. It is the pure form, and I haven't really felt a difference yet. I know it's good for inflammation and have the full 80 plus minerals, but I haven't really felt a huge difference in the effect of whether better sleep, better enhancement, better testosterone. I think possibly because I do follow like a carnivorous diet that maybe I don't really feel a difference compared to like eating, let's say, a regular diet. But I've been on it for almost a week and a half, close to about 2 weeks. Haven't not really felt a difference. So there's a lot of supplements that I've been testing recently, and I think just because due to the diet, because the diet is very clean and eating what is mostly bioavailable, and our bodies could be fulfilled with a lot of these minerals, that sometimes you might not feel a difference. while other people they swear by it and they feel incredibly amazing, while others like us possibly don't feel that at all. So sometimes I wonder if it's a waste of money or is it just because our bodies does not require it. Hi there, I have type 2 diabetes and with neuropathy. I am wondering, is there any natural supplements? Type 2 diabetes, you can, there is actually, of course, definitely you can use berberine, alpha lipoic acid, you can use chromium, you can use acetyl L-carnitine. So there's a lot of different stacks you can definitely use. Probably Tom would be best to book a time with me. We can talk about it in specific and give you a proper protocol. Or you can download some of my ebooks that I talk about how to cure or how to reverse type 2 diabetes, which is on my website as well. Is type 2 diabetes also the same as PCOS and insulin resistance? Yes. I need to read your ebooks. Let me know, British, if you have a specific one, I can definitely help you with that. James, how about neuropathy as well? Acetyl L-carnitine or L-carnitine is going to work for that. I think I might have missed your call today or something when I was in a meeting. I saw your number pop out, James. I hope you're doing good. Send my number, give me a ring tomorrow. I will, Prince. 100% will do it. I'll give you a call. 11 BC. Thank you very much for educating us. Much appreciated. Thank you, Sayed, for your comment. Really appreciate it. Guys, give me a second. I'm just going to plug in my phone on the charger because it's down to about 5%. Is it dangerous to get off my blood pressure meds and cholesterol pills after 8 years? It is dangerous without doing a proper blood testing and biomarkers to make sure nothing else is being conflicted. That's why I wrote that ebook on high blood pressure. Don't just drop your medication without knowing what are the values of your biomarkers, because a lot of blood pressure medications, they tend to actually cause more issues on the body. And we have to make sure these issues are looked after correctly prior of weaning off the medication. You cannot just drop the medication cold blue because they do have a massive side effect. So we have to set a protocol in place so you can actually wean off of them correctly. See if my phone's getting charged. Are there any alternative to ferrous sulfate? What if beta cells high, insulin high? Does it have to be keto to resolve it? It doesn't have to be keto, no. Does not have to be keto. What else? What cells does like basic liquid and what? What cells doesn't like basic liquids and oxygen? Good evening, Maurice. I have some muscle pain in my right upper arm, my shoulder, and what to do. It depends what kind of pain. If it's a bone pain, skin, muscle, could be many things. Inflammation. Can D-ribose help with low ejection fraction? Yes. So you have to actually do a stack. D-ribose, acetyl L-carnitine, and ubiquinol. That's your stack to actually fix a low ejection fraction. Yes, you can actually email them to me. If you email them to me, then I can look at it and we can actually go from there. If it's a DNA report, I do have to charge you for it. If there is a blood report, I do have to charge you for it as well too. Just two different prices. Do you have an ebook on PCOS and insulin resistance? Send me an email, Britties. I'll have to check to see if I have anything on PCOS. I think I do have on insulin resistance. I will PM you. Sounds good. Strange cells of me doesn't like this. Can I take my vitamin C with creatine? Any interference with creatine? Huh. Never really looked into that. Vitamin C and creatine. So one is an antioxidant, one is a mitochondria. Tell us your email, team@mauricedaher.com, team@myfullname.com. Come to Wisconsin. We can do a meet and greet with a bunch of people. We should. I should actually start planning probably for this next year or something. I'd love to actually plan a lot of the stuff, especially around the winter time, because it gets so freaking cold here. I will definitely like to travel from one area to another and actually, we can have like a full group meeting per place, per state, for example. It's just it's tough with Duke because I can't really take him anywhere with me without having all the full vaccination, which is kind of sucks. Is peak ATP as D-ribose? D-ribose is the backbone for ATP production. What is peak ATP? I haven't really looked into peak ATP. Is it something mixed? Can I look at it right now? Peak ATP. Let me see what's in peak ATP. Because D-ribose is the main source is the backbone of mitochondria. Peak ATP. How come I can't find it? Is peak like a brand name? Let's see here. Peak ATP supplement. Peak ATP. It's a pre-workout. The only D-ribose I want to take, make sure it does have the patent designed by Bioenergy. About media team. I'm trying to see what the ingredients is in it. Team Peak, media science. What is ATP? How does Peak work? I want to know what's inside of it. What is peak ATP? Let's see. Formula. Let's look at the formula. What to do for muscle pain in the upper arm that goes into a line. Usually anything with muscle pain is usually you would require the ribose or leucine for it. Powered enables an effective combination. See, as soon as, hey Matt, as soon as something does contain a branched chain amino acid, it's a waste of money, to be honest with you, because branched chain amino acid is fraud. The only thing that actually works in a branched chain amino acid is leucine on its own. My mind is seeing things. What about EAA? EAA works not bad. EAA works not bad, actually. I think it's 9 essential amino acids in there. Hello, Maurice. Which supplement do you recommend that promotes production of synovial fluid, knees especially? Ooh, oh, that's a good question. I don't think there is a supplement for that that I come across that actually works, to be honest with you. I'll have to see if there is such thing. I think glutamine is a waste of money. I would stay away from it. I understand prostate can cause low back pain. Pain in thighs often thought as neuropathy. It's mostly the back pain. It does, and it does affect the kidneys quite a bit, James. So yeah, the only thing that I can see is probably for your synovial fluid, especially in the knees, probably would be like something to be used externally. Maybe hyaluronic acid used externally, or possibly as a peptide into the knees, maybe. That could possibly work. I'm starting to take omega-3 and magnesium every day. Is it a good combination? Well, you can't really take them together. Magnesium should be on its own. Omega-3 should be with the food that contains fat. Why do you want to lower your urea? You can't just focus on one specific thing. It depends how your kidney's functioning. It depends how your kidney's functioning and what is the ratio. Yes, eye floaters does happen from insulin resistant. Urea. So kidneys. Do you take whey protein by any chance? Do you supplement with any type of protein? Any canned food? That would possibly increase your urea quite high. I'm going to try the gel shots for my knees. And does the gel shots have the hyaluronic acid in them? The best way to lower cortisol and get rid of PCOS, eat the carnivore diet, 100%. Because it's almost like an elimination diet. You eliminate everything from your diet, right? You bring everything back to homeostasis. So insulin resistance is diabetes, yes. How to reduce the large round belly related to liver. Fatty liver disease. It's all in regards to your diet. Let me know how it works, Steven, because I'm curious. Because I know I was doing some needles years ago, but didn't really do a whole lot. So it would be interesting to actually see if that would work, the gel shots. Do you prefer protein supplement for weight training? No, I don't. I don't believe in protein supplements, and I don't really trust it. I'd rather you eat like normal food would be way better and way healthier. Eggs, meat, fish, that would be way better because it doesn't have to go through the kidneys and actually puts a lot of havoc on the kidneys, and that's why we end up seeing higher urea or different ACR ratio or different GFR ratio, because due to the protein, processed protein. Some of us can do well, depends on the quality. Some of us don't. How much protein should I aim for? Dairy is okay if it's imported or it's actually aged. Substitute for statin, please. Connect with me. We can talk about it. It's time to grill sweet chilliwack corn. Best corn in BC. Must be nice. Enjoy it. Hopefully it's not man-made corn. British milk adults don't need, I thought. What is the best cheese to eat? Imported cheese. And it has to be aged. What is your education background? PhD in TikTok education. It's pretty awesome. I watched so many videos, I became a pro at it. Isn't corn glyphosate? That's what I mean. You know, corn is man-made product. Because back in the days, if you actually guys look at the corn back in the days, they used to be like, I think that big. They were never like almost a foot big and that thick, and it's crazy. So yeah, corn is heavily modified. Bananas are heavily modified. Pretty much almost every single fruit we eat or we've ate is heavily modified. There's nothing that is actually, you know, as normal as it can get. Chilliwack corn is naturally grown. That's what they tell you, that it's naturally grown. But originally, you always have to look at where it originate from, because technically a corn shouldn't be no more than about this size. That's the biggest size of corn. That's how big it should be. They should never be much bigger than that. Because what happened is they did they modified the DNA and a lot of the stuff, and that's why they made them bigger with no seeds, or they actually grow quite large as well too. Is it true low carb may trouble thyroid and cause insomnia? Yes, 100%. That's why I recommend a carb load. You can buy unmodified wheat. It's so expensive and from 100 years ago. Oh, wow, that'd be nice. That'd definitely be nice to actually try. Do you guys know what time it is now? Like, no wonder I'm not feeling good, and I feel tired today. You know, I haven't been drinking coffee for the past 4 days. I've been taking one cup of coffee every single freaking day, and today I was so exhausted and tired, and I got so busy with so many patients, and a lot of my patients that sometimes I get busy, I get myself a little bit stressed because I take all the stress from them, and I end up having 4 freaking cups. Is it safe to eat wild blackberries around the sea? Oh, 100% it is. I eat them all the time. Blackberries, blueberries, huckleberries, raspberries, Saskatoon berries. All this I just eat around BC. Keep in mind, I live in BC as well too, and it's all grown nicely wild. Last year I had about 6 cups in total. This year, because of the stupid weather and we had so much frost, I've only gotten 1 cup. This whole season, I've only had 1 cup. By the way, this we're gonna talk about this maybe tomorrow. This is one of my favorite MCT oil that you should, all of you guys should get. Better grown in the farms? No, it's better if you actually get it wild. Grown in the farms, they're gonna be probably sprayed, or maybe they have some kind of hormones to actually make them grow bigger. So be careful. Oops, my phone almost fell. I'm an overweight and doing the carnivore diet. Should I also be taking MCT oil? Oh, 100%, I would. 100% British, you should. Whether you're drinking coffee, whether you're drinking tea, anything you're mixing it with, definitely add your MCT oil to keep you satiated, give you the energy, and maintain focus. 100% you should. And make sure you do consume a lot of salt. Don't do what I do. I consume about 7 grams of salt a day. I have to go close the front door because it got quite late now, and because if Duke hears something, he's gonna jump through the screen door like he did yesterday, and he's gonna rip my screen door. Yeah, it's getting dark very fast. I'm not looking forward for winter. Winter sucks. Let me heat up some water, guys. So for next week's, guys, I'm gonna change my schedule. It's gonna be, instead of gonna be a full day schedule for my appointments, it's just gonna be half a day because I'll be traveling to the city. Does your body require 7 grams of salt a day? Mine does. I don't know about you guys. Come to Australia here, getting warm. Would be nice. I would love to. Just I don't know what to do with Duke. I have to bring him with me everywhere I go. That's the only reason that it's actually stopping me from, I think, traveling from place to place. Yeah, especially here. Like I haven't been here for the winter, but I've been in the city in the winter, and trust me, it's guess like 7 feet of snow. A dog sitter would be nice, but he won't get along with anybody. The thing is with Duke, guys, he loves to play, and he wants somebody. If anybody's gonna actually babysit him, for example, they have to be up for it. He's a German Shepherd. He has a lot of freaking energy. He needs about 2 hours of play time every day, and that's why, if we don't give that much attention to the dog, that's why they become dangerous, and that's why you see a lot of owners, they end up getting hurt or they lose even their lives because of their dog not well trained, not looked after, not fed properly, and not actually played with. So with Duke, I actually feed him everything raw. I have to actually give him 2 hours of my time every single day, 1 hour swimming and 1 hour we actually go digging or we do some work. And you always have to actually pick on his mind and actually do something new every day. If I don't do that with him every day, trust me, he will destroy everything because he has a lot of energy, and I still have to clean him and brush him every day and make sure his eyes are good, his nose is good, his teeth are actually healthy, his balls are they're good, his stomach, his food, everything. So So you have to look after them, and I cannot just kind of give him to any babysitter and tell him, here you go, take care of my dog. I know they're not gonna do the same, and he's gonna end up going on such a high depression mood, which is not good. So there's a reason everybody, and I hate seeing, like, I go through TikTok and I see a lot of people, they have dogs, and some they say, this lady got killed from her dog, biting her on the neck or anything like that. It's because, it depends on the attention and depends on the abuse some of the people out there that they do to their dogs. And, you have to treat them like your own kid. And, if you're going to actually have a kid, are you going to feed them like box food or, all that stuff? No, you're going to feed them the best food ever, and you're going to look after them the best way you could. So you have to do the same thing for your pet, or don't bother, getting one, because you're just going to give them, you're going to cause pain for the full time they're with you. Thank you, Brandy. And I have to look after him really well. I have to look at him very well, and I cannot, like, even when we go for a walk, if another dog comes to him, I'll have to actually be careful. Like, I gotta make sure, I know he can probably hurt the other dog, but still don't want them to actually get to that point. Yes, they are our babies. 100%. 100% they are. Can you say the patent name again for D-ribose? It's bioenergy. Bioenergy is the main company that started D-ribose. Now, I do have really good contacts with them. They actually support about 9 different companies on iHerbs. So when you look in the ingredients, make sure you see the logo, bioenergy. And I can get directly from them, but I have to order 10 kilograms per order. That's why I was trying to get, a few people to actually pay half, and we can all get like 10 kilograms, split it between like 10 people of 1 kilogram each. But yes, bioenergy is the main producer and main inventor of D-ribose. Right now, I've been out of D-ribose for 3 months, and trust me, it sucks. I can't wait till I get my order of 10 kilograms. Then I'll be happy again, because 10 kilograms, 1 kilogram will last you almost like a whole year. Seriously, and you don't need that much. All you need is anywhere between 2.5 grams to about 5 grams a day. For a sick person living in a disease state, they would actually do really well off 10 grams of D-ribose. And it's really good for diabetes, because it does cause a little bit of a hyperglycemia if you end up taking too much. Oil of oregano, 100% under your tongue, especially if you're getting sick. Antibacterial, antifungus. You can use it externally, internally. There's a whole book written on oil of oregano. And trust me, maybe next year I'll start to actually produce oregano myself here, because my whole section here in the land, we get wild oregano. And I have about maybe like 3 kilograms. It took me like almost 6 hours to actually pick them. And I'll have to take them with me to town to give them to my mom, because she actually likes to produce them into dried oregano. It's a Middle Eastern thing. Is Garden of Life a good brand of olive oregano? Yes, they're not bad. They are good. I like the company, actually, Garden of Life. I just don't agree with some of their status. I'm gonna mix my coffee right now, my mushroom coffee. I met with the owners of Garden of Life and their scientists, and we couldn't come to an agreement. So that's why I don't carry some of their products. Give me a second, guys. North America oil oregano. I can give you guys some oregano. I have lots of wild oregano grown here in the land. It actually grows very naturally in BC. Wild. Yeah, you should definitely use the oil of oregano for that. Like I said, that is good antibacterial, especially if you're getting sick. It's good for the mucus. 100%. And the best thing to do it is put a couple of drops under your tongue. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go close the door so Duke doesn't jump through it in case. Wow, he was ready to jump through it. Every time I open the door, he thinks that something's going on. He wants to jump through it right away. Mimi, yes, I can't say the name because it's not good for me to say it. It could get me in trouble. But yes, it is human consumption. P73 is the best oil of oregano. P73, how come? I'm curious now. Why would you say P73? Can I look it up? Is that a brand or is that a specific kind of oil of oregano? P73, let's look it up. I have my computer here with me. Usually I don't like to have my computer here because I won't stop from playing on it. The light is green, and I have another light. I changed the filtration, so it's actually easier on the eyes. It prevents you from actually having that blue light hitting your brain and telling your brain, hey, it's not time to sleep, it's time to actually stay awake. P73, oil of oregano. Mimi, thanks so much for the gift. Cheers. And I used to have that one here, the kitchen one, green. Let's go. Turn it off because it's actually too bright. And I took it out because I couldn't see many things when I'm cooking, so I put it back into white. But yeah, I have green here and I have red. P73. What's so special about P73? Spartan. Super strength. Let's see. Oil of oregano is not cheap either. It's a very expensive product. And you can actually buy these filtration because mine are actually LED lights. So you can actually buy these filtration. I bought these filtration that you can actually use for camera for different colors for cheap, very cheap from Amazon. And you just cut them and you cover the light. Did you guys go see my latest video on YouTube? You guys should definitely go watch it. I PM'd you. Thank you. I will watch YouTube. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate your support. What are the must-have supplement basic ones? What are? I think there's two supplements a person over the age of 40 should actually have. Or I shouldn't say over the age of 40, probably over the age of 30 or even 35, because sometimes certain individuals get it at a very young age, like myself, would be nitrate supplement and magnesium. Vitamin D3, it depends on the area you're in. If you live in Canada, yes. If you live outside of Canada, not 100% necessary if you get enough sun. Magnesium in trace mineral form, yes. It should always be in a trace mineral form. It should never be on its own. It should never be man-made, produced, or something added to it. It has to be in a trace mineral form. Magnesium ionic chloride, that's the most bioavailable form of magnesium. Nitrate, like for heart. Well, nitrate, when it converts to nitric oxide, it doesn't mean just for the heart, for your immune system, for your gut health, for your blood pressure, for your kidneys, for your duct, for your vision, for your microbiome, for your brain, for brain enhancement. It has a lot of different things with nitrate, not just for your heart. Magnesium bisglycinate is man-made. That's why you never saturate your body with it correctly. Why do you think when people take magnesium glycinate or orotate, althreonate, citrate, all that stuff, once they stop, their symptoms comes back? Because they never actually saturate correctly. The only way you can actually saturate correctly is with the proper magnesium ionic chloride, because it does have the true magnesium elemental in it, not as man-made, and it has to be coming from like seawater. Sleep, like magnesium glycinate is good for sleep, yes, because it does help you relax. But all you can do is you can get yourself magnesium ionic chloride and get yourself a glycine. It'll be a fraction of the price. So you can take a couple of drops of magnesium ionic chloride, and you can take actually your glycine. Your glycine is what actually allow you to rest and go to sleep. The only reason they mix them together so they can allow more magnesium to actually absorb through your gut. Can you type that, what brand, someone, please? Here, let me show you a picture of it. And if you go to my website, it is there as well. It comes directly from Australia. Every time I show a product, sometimes I get banned. I don't know why. So hopefully I don't. So this is the minerals that I use, the trace minerals I use. This is the magnesium ionic chloride that you can actually get it from the website. It says on it, trace minerals, Aussie trace mineral. That's the one you need. And there's a specific way of taking it as well too. D3K2 magnesium omega-3. Perfect combination. Perfect combination. See, two of the most important supplements, guys, you should actually write this down, seriously. Two of the most important supplements are vitamin D and magnesium. Why? Vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's a hormone that has 600 functions. Magnesium has 400 enzymatic functions. They both work massive ways into our bodies, and they're both actually super essential for your system. All other vitamins and minerals have at least 1 or 2 or 3 different functions, but magnesium and vitamin D has more than a couple hundred functions in the body. It's not the one I suggest. The only one I suggest, listen, I don't really believe in a lot of the man-made products. And the thing is, we always have to go back to what is nature. So technically, when you take magnesium, there's no such thing as magnesium glycinate, citrate, orotate, malate. So what happens is they take magnesium ionic chloride or magnesium elemental, and they add an amino acid to it or a molecule to it. So they take, let's say, magnesium elemental and they add a glycine. So they call it magnesium glycinate. Or they take magnesium and they add malic acid. So now they call it magnesium malate. Or they take magnesium and they add citric acid, which is, they call it magnesium citrate. So that's all they're doing. The whole idea with this is, you know, magnesium citrate technically is good for, let's say, constipation, magnesium glycinate to help you relax, magnesium malate to give you energy. But at the end of the day, magnesium is actually elemental, and the original form is magnesium ionic chloride that is actually found in our water system and found in our food. Now, magnesium ionic chloride has the highest level of elemental, which is 65% absorbable. So that's why I always talk about so highly about the magnesium, and it has to come with its own trace minerals. It cannot just be on its own. So you can actually get the most out of it and the most absorbable form from it. Any tips to lower cholesterol? Why would you want to lower cholesterol? It's not about lowering cholesterol. It's about preventing your cholesterol from oxidizing. That's all you need to do about cholesterol. Cholesterol is not the cause of heart disease. Guys, you have to, everybody, if you guys are new to my channel or you guys been following me for many years, you know for a fact that I am against the issue of doctors and cholesterol. Yes, how can we do that? My mom's labs were high cholesterol and triglyceride. Again, cholesterol has nothing to do with anything. Whenever we see a high number of cholesterol, it's giving you a sign and it's telling you there's something wrong in your body. Start looking after it. Could be your food, could be your performance, could be your environmental, could be your sleep, could be anything. It's not the cholesterol itself, it's whether the cholesterol is actually being oxidized or not. And that's where it becomes scary. Yeah, cholesterol being high, being low doesn't really matter. As long as below 350, you're fine. But right now, we see that a lot of companies, they want our cholesterol to be below 200. So this way you can become dumber. Cholesterol is needed for a healthy brain. There you go. 100%. Can hormones cause it? Can hormones cause it? Yes, of course. Menopause, of course. All that stuff will conflict with your cholesterol, will cause it to go up and down, up and down, up and down. It's fine. How do you know if it's oxidizing? There's actually a blood test you can get. It's called OXLDL. Is triglyceride from sugar? Yes. So, another thing is, so whenever you see high triglyceride, or you take your triglyceride and you divide it by your HDL and your ratio is above 1, that means you're consuming way too much carbohydrates and you're not actually utilizing its energy. So the body's actually storing it for later use. Does that make sense? My cholesterol was 250, then went down to 215. It's still good. 250 or 215, they're both good. Still under the mark of 350, which is excellent. So cholesterol, when the cholesterol starts to go up too high, is telling you a sign. Hey, your magnesium is low. Hey, your vitamin D is deficient. Hey, you're probably going to experience blood pressure. Hey, there's something oxidizing in your body, needs to be repaired. Hey, there's inflammation. So cholesterol is another major thing that actually looks at a lot of things in the body. Does weight matter for a healthy body? No, it doesn't. Weight goes up and down as well. It's all based on your liver, whether you have actually a fatty liver disease or not. So how do you know if you have a fatty liver disease? Only if your liver is actually exceeding a 5% fat within. So it's not whether you see like high cholesterol or whatever it is, you want to lower it as much as possible. Don't listen to a lot of these corporations and influencers, so-called, doctors and MDs and stuff like that. They're just trying to destroy the numbers to stay low without even looking at the root cause. You have to look at the root cause before you actually start to actually destroy the cholesterol. Don't just destroy it just for the hell of it because the numbers will actually look good, or take statins or anything else. By the way, did you know that if you take niacin, is much more powerful than a statin? And the nice thing is with the statin, with the niacin, it actually, based on your body type, it will actually balance your cholesterol based on your body type without making it oxidize. Niacin is vitamin B3, yes. So they either go by the name of niacin, B3, or nicotinic acid. Niacin is amazing. 84 years old history, used for and to control lipids. Any inflammation markers was 1.2. My inflammation marker was 1.2, but I have screws and plate in my ankle, always swollen. Yes. So that's why your inflammatory factors are always going to be probably high. And the only way you can probably reduce that is once you actually remove the screws and stuff, especially if the screws have any type of lead, mercury, or anything like that. I have heart disease. What is good supplement? Nitrate, and magnesium. How can we increase cholesterol? Mine stays at 134. Eat more eggs, eat more cheeses, eat more saturated fats, eat more coconut, avocados, olives. All that stuff will raise your good cholesterol. Will this video remain accessible once the live is over, please? Yes, on my YouTube channel. That's why it's being recorded on YouTube right now. So you can actually go to YouTube and you can actually watch everything that we talked about in details. So the only way you can actually increase your cholesterol is by eating like animal fats. That would be like the fastest way to actually increase your cholesterol numbers. Is nicotinic acid safe to take by itself or take in a complex? Take it by itself, and it should be taken by itself. Open wound healing nitrate supplement will actually help with the process. Hey D, how are you? Been a long time. Give me a second, guys. Gotta put some water. Can you explain statins and statin side effects? So statins, they actually inhibit an enzyme in your liver that actually produces cholesterol. And by doing that, it actually reduces your vitamin D levels, and it reduces your coenzyme Q10 in the heart, which is that's what boosts up your mitochondria for the heart tissue. And on top of that, that's why we end up getting headaches, we end up getting muscle pain, we end up getting mood swings, we end up having foggy brain, muscle atrophy. So we end up getting a lot of these side effects because they actually reduces vitamin D and ubiquinol, which is coenzyme Q10 in the body, and it just inhibits that co-HMA something in the liver. I can't remember the full name of it, but that's what it does. So it forces your liver to stop producing, and that becomes an issue. And that's why we end up getting all these symptoms and all these issues with our bodies. And of course, it throws off your. Keep in mind, when we lower cholesterol, we ruin your hormones. We ruins your testosterone. Cholesterol is what produces your hormones in the body, and testosterone gives you all that stuff. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, being a while busy. Hope you and Duke are well. We're doing very, very good. Just been busy as well too, actually. Manuka honey for wounds also. Yes, if used topically, 100%. Statins are horrible. Can't believe it's given like candy. It's a $1 trillion industry. Oh man, didn't drink the whole thing. The doctor just prescribed statin for me. And that's the thing is they prescribe statins like crazy, left and right, like giving out candy for free, right? And that's how they make their money. But yet they never really dig deep into the root cause and say, hey, the only reason you have high cholesterol is because you have inflammation, or is because you're running low on vitamin D, or is because your mitochondria is not working. There's a lot of things we can actually pinpoint to why cholesterol is actually going up high without actually just giving it medication to shut it down. So before we shut it down, let's look at the big picture. Why is this happening? Always ask yourself, well, what did I do different? What am I eating different that this is actually causing my cholesterol to go up, for example? Very simple. Was that a cayenne shot? No, that was a liposomal of glutathione and acetyl L-carnitine, 1,000 milligrams of each. How to help mitochondria? Mitochondria is very, 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 very crucial to look after, because without mitochondria, you won't be able to produce nitric oxide. Sahtain, thank you. You won't be able to actually produce proper testosterone. You won't be able to actually digest food properly. You can't sleep. You can't, think properly. You can't work out properly. It's your energy molecule, your mitochondria. Look after it and treat it really, really well. So what boosts up your mitochondria? You have nitric oxide, you have creatine, you have D-ribose. Um, Creatine is not only for building muscle, creatine as well as the ATP is to actually increase your mitochondria level. And it's going to actually help with brain function, with heart function. And I give it to a lot of my heart patients. I give them all D-ribose and creatine because they need the heart need the most energy. It needs our mitochondria to be working really, really good. Any type of blood pressure medication for the body is you're not a medicinally deficient. Cayenne pepper in its natural form works wonders 100%. Since carnivore, my vitamin D is 150 and my fasting glucose pre-diabetes. I don't get it. Eventually it will stable. I don't know how long you've been doing carnivore for, or possibly you could be eating way too much fat and your body is not actually utilizing it correctly. Can you get all that in food mitochondria? You could, but very, very small amount. Very small amount. Like every pound and a half of meat, you only get about 1 gram of creatine. Any thoughts about B12? I don't really take B12 and nobody should. If your body's not actually getting enough vitamin B12, it's not the vitamin itself, it's your intestine that is actually having a hard time producing it correctly. How to help the mitochondria? Take creatine, take D-ribose, take acetyl-L-carnitine, take nitrate supplement. All this stuff will actually help your mitochondria. Cholesterol, good fats, all that stuff will help your mitochondria. Vitamin C, quercetin, polyphenols, all that stuff is excellent for the mitochondria. My favorite has always been creatine and D-ribose and acetyl-L-carnitine. That's why I take it. PQQ for mitochondria, what do you think? PQQ is excellent, expensive. That's why I don't buy it. So you guys have to keep something in mind. You're gonna hear me talking about some supplements, but you're gonna know when you actually do some research on your own, you're gonna notice, well, how come Maurice didn't talk about, let's say, PQQ or talk about this? Because to me, the way I look at it is if you're not gonna be able to afford that supplement and constantly take it every single month for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, don't bother buying it for just a month or 2 months because you're not gonna really feel an effect from it. Okay, so that's why some of this stuff would love to get my hands on it, but it's way too expensive. And sometimes it becomes to a point where, well, we cannot really afford it because you should be taking it for a full year at least before you start to kind of feel a huge difference, or 6 months or 3 months. My doctor told me to use vitamin B3 to lower cholesterol, but 500 milligrams twice a day. Yeah, that's fine. You can take 500 milligrams twice a day. You can go as high as 3,000 milligrams before it kind of causes any minor side effects. Which magnesium, please? I take vitamin D3, K2. You gotta take magnesium ionic chloride. It's a trace mineral. What I'm holding in my hand, something like that. It is on my website. You can definitely check it out. Multiple sclerosis help. I want to get off my mess for good. Increase your vitamin D3 up to 50,000 to 100,000 IU. Headaches when I don't drink coffee. That's normal because your body is deficient of magnesium, Amber. What is too high cholesterol? Well, if you're above 350 or so, mine is in the upper 500. But the question is it being oxidized? That's what you have to ask yourself. Sometimes it could be. Sometimes it could be a parasite issue, yes. How about high cholesterol, which ranges 230? Yeah, that's fine. 230 is fine. Nothing wrong with 230. The question is it being oxidized? That's the question. Like you guys can sit here and give me numbers all night long, 200, 400, 300, but the question is still irrelevant if you don't know if it's actually being oxidized or not. You can take it as long as you want, Sandra. You can take it forever. Keep in mind, it's not like statin where it forces your cholesterol to be low. It just balances it based on your body. Our Maurice, are you tired, man? I'll stay for another 20 minutes. I need a haircut. I was gonna shave my head today. I came close. Do conventional doctor check that oxidize? No, they don't. You have to ask for it. What was the name of the oxidation test again? OXLDL. Is it true MCT taking too much is not good for liver? If you're taking the C8 and C10, It does not cause any issues with the liver, nor does it cause a fatty liver because it is a short chain fatty acid. So I finish a whole 1.2 liters of MCT oil. Takes me roughly about 3 weeks to drink this whole thing. And this average person I talk to, they finish this bottle in about 3 months. I finish it in about 3 weeks. So you can see why I'm always in a high energy mood. Every cup of coffee I drink, every time I cook, I do everything with MCT oil. Short chain fatty acid is much healthier for you than a long chain fatty acid, whether you're drinking it or cooking with it. Especially if you're not moving much, you don't want it to store. The long fatty chain fatty acid will actually store. The short ones won't. And as long as your liver fat is below 5%, you're fine. I do consume lion's mane in the coffee shot that I just had. It does have 6 different mushrooms. I like it. If you're interested in trying it, it is on my website. Definitely give it a shot. One more question. What is the difference between flush or non-flush? Flush is what actually goes after your lipids, your cholesterol. Non-flush is actually more of a metabolism. So when you buy a niacin, there's either niacin, nicotinic acid, or vitamin B3. There's another one called nicotinamide. That's a non-flush. Nicotinamide has nothing to do with your lipids. I drank coffee after 30 days. I drank coffee after 30 days and felt like I was going to have a heart attack. I wonder why, because it depleted your magnesium and potassium levels. Hi, D. He's so good. Cheers. You are a blessing. Thank you. And yeah, if you drink too much coffee, you're just going to drain and break down all your magnesium levels, sometimes potassium levels, zinc, calcium. It throws all that out of whack. So that's why the coffee source should be clean, should not contain any mold toxins, should be grinded fresh. And if you drink coffee and you notice you have to go to the toilet like within 5-10 minutes of drinking it, that means it does contain mold toxins. How do you keep kidney healthy? Don't eat anything processed. Is caffeine like tea also depletes? Yes, 100% it is. They all deplete. A lot of these drinks, even though they come from berries, they still deplete some of the mineralization in our body. Any recommendation for probiotic supplement? I don't believe in probiotic supplements. I think they're a waste of money. They're a big hype for nothing. I think it's better if you actually drink or make your own kefir. Is beef fat long chain or short chain? Both, short and long chain. Does the magnesium you take only comes in liquid form? That's how you should actually always take it, in a liquid form. It's an original state. It's not powdered. 130 over 88 bad. It doesn't mean it's bad. Would like to do some more testing. Do you think it's worth testing for mold in the body? You can tell whether you have it or not sometimes, especially if you urinate lots, especially at night. Lemon, lime, and honey water. I would add a little bit of pinch of cayenne and Celtic salt. Perfect. How to do fungus and yeast mold to get out of the body? You can do a lot of chelation therapies or some liposomal as well, or therapy, IV therapies. Is hawthorn berry good for lowering blood pressure? Yes, it does lower blood pressure, does strengthen the heart, but keep in mind, it does not fix your deficiency. Without fixing your deficiency, the moment you get off hawthorn, the blood pressure issue comes back. So guys, you have to keep this in mind. There's somebody who tagged me in a video, and I need to actually go and talk about this video and actually destroy the doctor who came up with that product, because you can either fix a deficiency or you're going to take medication or supplement for the rest of your life. Let's just put it that way. Dog has heart murmur, heart congenital. What would you do? Give them taurine, 3,000 to 6,000 milligrams daily. They're not actually absorbing the magnesium at the cellular level. So I give my dog, I give Duke magnesium, and I give them taurine. What do you think of digestive bitters? They're actually good for the enzymes to function correctly and break down the food. For every glass of water, have a pinch of Celtic salt, peeps. Your cells will uptake the water 100%. Could you please put this video on YouTube? It is going to be going on YouTube, and you can actually go ahead and watch the whole thing after, we're done, because it is fully recorded on YouTube, guys. That's why actually I have both right now running. I have the TikTok and I have YouTube. So this way, if you guys want to go back and watch the video for any of the information missed, if you arrived late to this chat, you can always go back and actually watch it. Awesome, Gene. Thanks so much for that. Out of all research I've done, you're the only person on TikTok that matches the information I found. Hey, cheers, Ziggy. Thanks so much for the comment. I really appreciate that. Do you have best taurine to suggest? I use a powder form. Make sure it is a powder form of taurine, because you're going to be using lots, and you're going to use it as well too, not just giving it to your dog. You should actually use it yourself. It does actually has anticoagulant properties. How much creatine for heart failure? 3 grams at least 2 to 3 times daily. Matt. How do you prevent diabetes? Diabetes is within the food you consume. So it depends whether you eat 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day. You should always have your carbohydrates switched to last meal of the day. Appreciate the info you are providing. Thanks so much, Missy, for the comment. I really appreciate it. You guys have been amazing. Let's tap the screen, guys. Maybe we can get more people to come and join the chat. Is IBS real? IBS is just a name for lack of digestive enzymes, malfunctioning of pancreas and gallbladder. What is IBS? Pretty much, what is it? Irregular bowel syndrome. All these freaking bullshit names, they keep coming up with, and they make such a huge deal out of them. All it is just your pancreas and gallbladder not functioning correctly. The question is why? The question is because we actually overcook and we actually overdo things that our pancreas are actually running out of enzymes. Instead of taking these enzymes and actually allow our body to heal, we're actually utilize them to break down foods that we shouldn't be actually breaking down in the beginning. Maurice, are you a doctor of naturopathy? I got my education on TikTok, certified. Cheers to that. I'm just bugging you. What do you think is good blood pressure? There's no such thing as good or bad blood pressure. It's the same thing where I'm saying there's no good thing whether there's a good cholesterol or a bad cholesterol, because every person is different. There was one book written, they said these 7 doctors were sitting in a room and they said, how can we actually bring every person to a blood pressure of 120 over 80? And one of the doctors said, if you have to do this 120 over 80 concept, then a person will have to be on multiple medication to actually bring that down, because 120 over 80 is pretty much irrelevant. Once we see a person has a fluctuating blood pressure, then instead of actually going on medication, it is ideal to do further testing. Check your homocysteine level, check any deficiencies. Once we actually know there's a deficiency and we fix it, you're back to normal. You're back to normal. That's it. That's how simple it is. You're not medicinally deficient. I read a lot, and he obviously does as well. Me and homeopathic. What days are you live? I'm trying to actually come live every single night as a routine. It's been fluctuating so much because I'm still kind of finishing tiny house and traveling between the city and here, so my time fluctuates. But I think once I have a specific schedule set, I'm gonna have it, moving forward, that is gonna be every night at this specific time, for example. Then why do doctors tell someone it should be 120? Because mine is usually 125 to 30. They don't know that. That's what they've been taught. When a person has been taught a specific way to actually educate other people, they're gonna stick to that routine. It's like they're gonna tell you, hey, guess what? I'm not gonna give you your degree unless you actually follow what we tell you. And if you actually break that record, break what we taught you, pretty much we're going to take your license away from you. So that's what they're taught. You were mentioning about nitric oxide staying in the body 6 to 8 hours. What is the name of supplement? Is it available only in the US? I'm from India. Can I buy it, please? The company right now, it is a patent design and it is only available in the US, unfortunately. Sometimes I can't even get it here in Canada, and you cannot get it internationally anywhere. That's why I tell everybody, whoever is interested in it, to actually grow their own arugula, or I have to figure out a way to see whether I can buy it and ship it somehow to you guys, because that's the only option we have. Unfortunately, it's only available in the US at this time. How much water should be drinking if you are on creatine? Normal. I'm not more thirsty than before, whether I am on creatine or not, because I actually hydrate my body correctly with trace minerals. You don't feel a difference. Now, back in the days, like 20 years ago, when I never used to hydrate my body correctly, I'd be drinking like 4, 5, 6 liters of water nonstop and urinating like crazy. But once you are actually hydrating your cells correctly with trace minerals, you're drinking the same amount of water, whether you are on creatine or you're not on creatine. Please come to India and train doctors. Would love to. I should start to travel from place to place and teaching and offering like small educational classes. I would love doing that. And stay in different countries all the time. I need like a first class for Duke. Please tell us about your education. We don't know who you are. I am a clinician. I am a registered clinician, a clinical nutritionist for more than 20 years. Dela loves doggies. I should show you my German Shepherd. He's just sleeping. He just came, drank water, and left. Can dehydration cause a flu-like symptoms? Yes, it does. But you get the dry throat, you get the tightness in the shoulders, the headaches. That's because your body's losing too much magnesium. I can help you travel. That'd be awesome. So I need a ticket for myself and one for Duke. Why do I have a small freaking mosquito came in here? Isn't resting heart rate more important than a blood pressure? And how do we lower our resting? Yeah, resting heart rate is way more important than your blood pressure. So that's why we always kind of talk about HIIT training, high intensity interval training. So let's say if you're doing, let's say, a treadmill, you go as fast as possible for 30 seconds, like you're running as fast as possible. Then after that, you walk for about 1 minute to 3 minutes, and you time how much does it take for your heart to recover. So it's all about recovery. The recovery is very, very crucial and very important. So you might start at 3 minutes recovery, and within about a month or 3 months of doing that same exercise, then your recovery start to get below 1 minute. That's when you know you're actually doing like excellent work for your cardiovascular system. So recovery is very, very important for our resting heart rate. Can you recommend a niacin supplement? I do have it on my website. I use like a regular brand name like Now or others, because there's only about 3 manufacturers that produce niacin. So only by using boron and zinc can boost testosterone, or anything else also required. Boron is good, but you gotta take in the upper 30 milligrams for it to work. Is it fine to do HIIT with heart disease? Yes, it is fine. As long as you're doing it at least probably start with about twice a week for the first month to see how your body recovers. Then after that, you can actually increase it to about 3 times a week. No more than 3 times a week would be ideal. Start within about 15 minutes and you can work your way up to 25 minutes max. And that's it. 3 times a week up to 25 minutes. That's all you need. If someone does not have the glutathione S-transferase M1 gene, they will also develop a plaque in the vascular system due to inflammation. Yes, 100%. And that's why I've always recommended nitric oxide. Nitric oxide plays a huge role in this. So it prevents any of the white blood cells from forming or causing the process and the arterial damage. Good night, Sandra. Is 10,000 IU vitamin D3 okay? Yeah, it is good. 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. You can take as much as you want. It's not going to harm you. Is Celtic salt good for helping with dehydration, or what do you suggest? The problem is with Celtic sea salt, it has very small amount of magnesium, even though it has three types of magnesium. But every, like say, I take 20 drops of this magnesium up here, which is it gives me 200 milligrams of magnesium. You have to take about 10, 1/4 teaspoons of Celtic salt to actually get the same equivalent, Stephen. So you have to kind of decide which is more affordable. Yeah, you can use Celtic sea salt to actually on your steak, on your food, but I would highly recommend using like a magnesium trace mineral product like the one I have on my website, for example. It comes from Aussie Trace Minerals. Do you have anything on Hashimoto on your website? I don't think I do, no. But with the underactive thyroid, it's just all based on your diet and how much carbohydrates and whether you go on low carbohydrates or not, you drink caffeine products or not, or any stimulants. What is your opinion on Himalayan pink salt health benefits? Himalayan sea salt, very similar to Celtic sea salt. The only thing is it does not have the moisture. The moisture is what actually allow more magnesium to be found in the Celtic salt. But other than that, they're both the same. Just it depends where they're both derived from and how they're being processed, whether they contain any heavy metal particles or not. Heavy metal is not whether you need more protein or not. It's all about having the proper iodine, selenium, and tyrosine as well too. Ziggy, thanks so much for connecting. Looking forward to chatting with you as well too. 100%. Nitric oxide lasts about 8 hours. Can one take it 3 times to always be in a nitric oxide flow for 24 hours? It's best to take it twice a day. I take it twice a day, early morning as soon as you wake up and right before you sleep. So right before you sleep, it does act as an anticoagulant because 99% of the heart attacks happen from 10 p.m. at night till almost 6 a.m. in the morning because that's the coagulation process. So taking it at night is going to break the coagulation and you wake up early enough, you can take it in the morning to actually continue that process. L. So yes, nitric oxide, I take it twice a day myself. I've been doing this for 10 years now. I have not missed a dose. And I did mention it in my video. And on my video, I did say I only take it once, but because it is a very expensive product. So I invest all my money, to be honest with you, in that product. I would love to get my hands on like the raw form of that product, but it is a patent designed and they will never, like, I buy so much from these guys and they'll never give me a freaking deal, which is kind of sucks. Call Shisen? What? I haven't heard of that before. I gotta look that up. You can get like a status, a vitamin, a mineral, amino acid status, and find out what deficiencies you have. But I can guarantee you're already deficient in magnesium. Is beetroot good? Beetroot only if it's 25% extracted. If it's not, you'll have to take in the upper 300 grams to get an equivalent of 500 milligrams nitrate. I read by taking more than 12 grams of spirulina, not much benefit as body excrete excess of it. Any reason, or can one take 1 gram? To be honest with you, I don't have much information on spirulina, and I think sometimes some of the stuff out there is just hyped and it's a waste of money. Because I looked into spirulina years ago and I've tried it, didn't really feel an effect of it. So I can't really tell you whether you take 1 gram or 10 grams, whether it's gonna do anything to our body or whether it's gonna benefit our body or not. The only thing that I found that actually works is chlorella, which works amazing. Just make sure it's not mixed with glycerin. Make sure it's pure. How can we make sure when we take supplements, does it not overwhelm the liver? When you do actually do a liver testing, and let's say you take niacin, and niacin as actually it was meant to overstimulate the liver. It doesn't mean that it's actually causing harm to the liver. Overstimulating, that means, hey, Al, you're taking a little bit too much niacin. maybe reduce the dose a bit, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna actually overwhelm it or anything like that. Keep in mind, some supplements will get filtered in the kidneys, some supplements will get filtered in the liver, but it doesn't mean it's gonna cause any issue. It's just causing an overstimulation. That means it is working, but it's not causing like any harm or causing like say like a fatty liver disease or any chronic conditions in the liver or the kidneys. Is saffron good for kids? Yeah, saffron is good for the kids, and it's really good for vision as well too. Colchicine 0.5 with the branded name Lodoco recently gained approval for an additional indication in June 2023 to reduce the risk of myocardial infarction stroke. I'm curious to know what's in it. Let me look it up here really quickly. Maybe I can do some research on it. Obviously it is a pharmaceutical medication. So it's Colchicine. Okay, I'm just gonna save it so I can maybe look it up a little bit more in detail. So it's mostly used for gout, like gout attack, for uric acid. Doesn't say anything about strokes or anything like that, but I'll have to check, do a little bit more scientific, research on it. Why do nutritionists say carbs are good if I have insulin resistance? Because they're clueless. Is milk thistle and yellow dock and dandelion good for blood pressure? Yellow dock and dandelion, yeah, they're all good for your kidney filtration and liver filtration. I don't know how much is going to help blood pressure. Is taking iron supplement harmful to liver? Is taking helpful is low ferritin but not iron? Just eat some steaks. Why take a supplement? When a person is on dialysis twice a week, can he reverse the kidney function like NMN, TMG, etc., and avoid dialysis permanently? To be honest with you, I don't know if I can say yes yet, because what I mentioned yesterday, like few of my patients, because they were in a stage 3 kidney disease, and by taking NMN and TMG within about 90 days, their kidney went up from stage 3 to stage 1. Now, they haven't really got off the supplements because they've only been taking them for 90 days. So I'd like them to actually take it for a whole year and see if they can avoid dialysis permanently or not. I can't give you an answer on that, but so far we've seen like a massive increase. But keep in mind, like kidney disease did not happen overnight. It took years to develop. So maybe they have to be years taking NMN and TMG before maybe they notice a huge difference. What do you think about eating animal organs? They're delicious, especially the beef heart and the tongue. We had tongue the other day, was amazing. All that stuff is incredible. Methylating folic acid toss, methylfolate. We should all be taking methylfolate, not folic acid. Folic acid is a synthetic form. Yeah, but the problem is with the medication, the colchicine. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. It's mostly used for gout. I don't know how they actually have it used for anti-inflammatory. No need for statins. I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper into that and see if I can pull more information on it to see if it's actually been used for that. Does one have to have several supplements? Yeah. Yeah, because your diet is different than mine, and your diet and my diet is different than yours. So we're both deficient in different things. It is high insulin, yes. My father has bone marrow issue very similar to MDS that doesn't produce enough red blood cells, and hemoglobin drops to under 7 and needs blood transfusion. Anything you can recommend? For bone marrow to actually reproduce in bone marrow. I gotta look into that a little bit more in detail. Can't think on top of my head right now. for when it comes down to bone marrow. I know there's a specific protocol I wrote in my ebook. Hold on, let me pull up my ebook. One of my ebooks, a cheat book that I have. Give me a second. Let me see here. The name of your website. So if you go to stan.store/ my full name, Maurice Daher. Should be on my main page as well too on YouTube. Can you give some recommendation for AFib? Thank you for your videos. So with, let's say, atrial fibrillation or any type of heart arrhythmia, so think of it as your calcium contracts and your magnesium relaxes. So once the body goes out of rhythm, is because your diet consists of too much calcium and not enough magnesium. We technically like to see a ratio 1-to-1, and our current modern lifestyle consists of a 40-to-1 ratio, calcium to magnesium, because a lot of our foods are fortified with calcium. And that's one of the issue we have, where our foods are fortified with calcium or fortified with vitamin D. So we end up having such a high level of calcium in our body, and we end up having very low levels of magnesium. And that's why you see a lot of doctors giving a lot of patients calcium channel blockers and other things. They're trying to block the calcium, but all you have to do is just increase your magnesium intake. Now, magnesium is very important, because it doesn't mean if you take magnesium, you're going to saturate at the cellular level. You have to take things with magnesium, such as taurine or vitamin B6, and actually fix your gut. Gene, yes, AFib is 100% curable, and I wrote the ebook on all type of heart arrhythmia, that they all are fixed. You don't need a fibrillator, you don't need any of that ablation, you don't need any of that stuff. It is 100% fixable. It's very useful in quickly reducing plaque in arteries. Many scientists says vitamin K2, MK7, and magnesium plays a great role in minimizing plaque in arteries. So your comment. So guys, when I did the video the other day, Thomas, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. A calcified artery, you guys have to understand something. A calcified artery is not all made of calcium. A calcified artery is not all made of oxidized cholesterol. A calcified artery is not all made of proteins. It's a mixture. A calcified artery has oxidized cholesterol, has calcium and phosphate, has proteins, and has water. So when you take vitamin K2 and MK7, you're regulating your calcium and phosphate. So when you do a CAC score, wow, you just dropped your CAC score by 20%. Perfect. And that's it. You're not going to go any further. You're just going to keep it at that level. Then you take neurokinase with serapeptase. Now you dropped your calcification another 15%. Oh, wow. Now you dropped it a total of 35%. Then you take Cavadex or cyclodextrin, and now you're removing the oxidized cholesterol. So every vitamin and every part plays a role in that calcification. So yes, you're going to see a nice effect from vitamin K2, vitamin D3, with the neurokinase, and cyclodextrin. They all work in combination because each one will remove a specific percentage from that calcified artery. Not just one vitamin is going to remove your whole 100%. That one vitamin is going to remove a bit of that calcified artery. So you need to take that combination of the others. But what started the original issue is the oxidization of that cholesterol. The Cavadex is only available in one country, is in Australia, and it's actually shipped directly from there to Canada or the US or worldwide. Soft plaque is not the risk. If you have enough nitric oxide in your body, soft plaque won't generate. And if you actually eat enough polyphenols in your diet, soft plaque won't generate. I don't care about soft plaque. Soft plaque is easy to fix. The question is, can we actually reverse calcification? Smoking? Well, if you smoke like natural tobacco and you smoke some nice, stuff, then that stuff is not going to affect you. The only reason smoking affects you is because smoking contains 98 chemicals. Yes, you can heal CHF 100%. Book a time with me, we can talk about it. Is blood pressure shown in Samsung Galaxy Watch accurate compared to standard? I don't know. I didn't do a test, but I have a test of a special designed blood pressure watch that actually has the patent cuffs on it, and it actually squeezes your wrist and it gets a proper read. And that one was plus or minus 1%. So I don't know about the Samsung watches or the Apple watches. They are. Sometimes I think there's a plus or minus. Is chia curable? My dad died to it last year. It is curable, 100%, Gene, 100%. Is raw spinach bad for kidneys due to oxalates? Yes, it is. It should be heavily cooked. Hey man, I had a cardio last October. I am now drug-free. Cheers to that. I'm happy for you. 2 packs a day for 27 years. Wow. Make sure you're smoking some good stuff, not the freaking heavily processed 98 chemicals. Smoking is like sucking on a car's tailpipe. Yeah, no kidding now. 100%. You got it correct. All that toxic effect. Can we take narokinase 12,000 FU without serapeptase? And if not, how much should we take of serapeptase? Yeah, I would actually like to take narokinase without serapeptase. For me, serapeptase, I did a 500,000 SPU daily and didn't feel a difference. I like narokinase way better. I quit 29 years ago. That's awesome. So now it's time to clear your lungs. Did you clean up your lungs with some heavy NaC intake? Thank you for helping me on taurine and chloride. You helped me lower blood pressure to 120 from 170. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Does calcification affect or worsen bone knee pain where you've lost almost all cartilage? Calcifications, or it could be sometimes calcium crystals that actually build up around the joints. That's due to the oxalates from the intake of certain foods. I try to stop smoking but fail all the time. Start taking vitamin C up to your tolerance level. Trust me, you will quit smoking. How do you fix gout? Gout is a huge issue. Gout is mostly insulin resistant or too much fructose in the diet, and sometimes too much oxalates in the diet. How can one afford all of the above? I take NaC 1000. No, you gotta take NaC 2400 milligrams every 4 hours and cycle 5 days on, 3 days off, and see how you feel and see whether you need it more. If you're just gonna take 1000 milligram, you're just doing a maintenance to your body. You need to mega dose so you can actually get rid of the issue. Carnivore diet rocks. 10 years and going strong. Can I ask what NaC does for your lungs? It clears up the mucus and opens up your lungs airways. Can fasting cause increase in heartbeat? And if so, why does that occur? Because you're losing your water. It's throwing your magnesium out of balance. That's why we always say, drink your trace minerals. Can you mix TMG and magnesium? Yes, you could. What is the best magnesium for better heart function? Taurate? No, magnesium ionic chloride, then you add taurine separately. Should all greens be cooked instead of raw, juicing them? You should never be juicing anything. I think juicing is bullshit. All you're doing is just juicing a lot of the oxalates, all the crystals in your drinks. The only thing you should be doing is just eating cucumbers. What best supplement for kid cough? NaC and acetyl-L-cysteine. How long to take NaC? 5 days on, 3 days off. I got 4 more minutes. That's why I'm going so fast with these answers. How to lower blood sugar levels. Currently averaging 107. Take all your carbohydrates and shift them to last meal of the day. Does taking coenzyme Q10 supplement 600 milligrams daily boost ATP and energy in body, thus reducing carbohydrate calorie heavily and reduce body weight without losing energy? Coenzyme Q10, 600 milligrams, not bad. I'd rather eat beef heart. You get way more. If you can get the ubiquinol, would be better form. But to boost up your ATP, I would take probably D-ribose or creatine, much higher effect than ubiquinol itself, coenzyme Q10. Juice celery for cancer, not recommended. For that issue, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. If you think it's helping, yes, 100%. A few days ago, a report came out of a scientist that developed a way to recreate cartilage. Fascinating stuff. I gotta look into that. That would be very interesting, especially for us old people with the knee issues and the elbow issues and the overusage of weights and lifting and construction work. That would definitely help quite a bit because an average collagen type 1 and type 3 takes 7 years to develop in the body unless you do peptides. And even with peptides, it gets very, very expensive and still you're not even there. Bee pollen, is this good for cholesterol? Bee pollen, just think of it as your maximum multivitamin, multimineral amino acid for you. Trace minerals, is that good? Yes, it is good. What is ATP? That's for your mitochondria. That's what boosts your mitochondria. We got 2 more minutes. How much creatine intake do you recommend for a daily intake? 3 grams per dose, at least 2 or 3 times daily. Best NAC for kids, 1000 milligrams twice a day. Best natural supplement for knee pain arthritis. For a person having diabetes, reducing inflammation. Vitamin D3, 50,000 IU. With vitamin K2, about 400 micrograms daily, MK7. So trace minerals also replace magnesium. Well, the trace mineral Aussie does contain 200 milligrams of magnesium. So you don't need to take magnesium on its own. Just by taking the Aussie trace minerals, now you got your 70 plus trace minerals, plus it does contain 200 milligrams of magnesium. Are you on every night? Keep missing you. I've been trying to come here every night, Jax. Yes, if you do miss the videos, you can always go to my YouTube channel and rewatch the whole video, because right now we've been talking for almost 2 hours. Guys, I do have to get going. It's already about 10 p.m. my time. If I didn't have to wake up at 5 a.m., I would definitely stay much longer. But you guys have any questions, please do book a time with me. We can chat. We can cover a lot of things. And if you did miss some of the questions we've talked about here on the channel, you can always go to my YouTube and you can actually watch and take some notes down, because there's a lot of information I'm going through. Thanks so much for the gift. Good night, Butterfly. There's a lot of information I'm going through, and I'm going through it very, very fast. So definitely grabbing a pen and taking all that notes down would be excellent. In the meantime, you guys take care of yourself. What's today? Monday. Happy Monday to everyone. I think it's Monday today. Happy Monday to everyone, and we'll definitely, if I'm not tired, I'll definitely come back tomorrow evening. Thanks so much, guys, for all the amazing comments, and please keep tapping the screen and have a nice evening. Cheers.